Yeah, hello. Thank you everyone for attending this session. A quick intro about me. My name is Usman, and I work in Grafana Lab as a senior developer advocate. I have joined Grafana, it's now about 2.5 years, and mostly in my past, I worked with the industry on IT industry, mostly working on Linux or open source. I love open source and a lot of work on Linux. And in Grafana, I actually work a lot with the open source community, either it is on GitHub or community forums or Slack sometimes, and try to build documentation or help work with developers, maybe create some content, and yeah. And I live actually here in Nuremberg, so it's like a hometown for me, and really first time here attending this amazing event. And beside work, I have a small family. I like to obviously do more parenting. I have a small daughter. But when I'm also free, I like to create content, mostly on Linux or open source tools, and also write. So if you like, you can scan this QR code, and you can learn a little bit more about me. Today, I would like to share this story, but what I will try to do is that I will go a bit quickly with the theoretical slide and try to show you more of the demo work so that you can also say like, oh, this is really interesting and fascinating, so it attracts you. So, so today, the story is that before Git, like everyone was using Git nowadays, but what was before Git? So this is probably a fun picture to start with, like, okay, these are the old days where you have create files and revisions, and you never end up, like, it's a big loophole where you still not finalize everything. And even if you do so, then you do this copy because you want to save your data. I have worked in my CFPs or FIPs, I would say, on my master thesis, and I also do that. And then something comes up, and you're like, bam, like, I hate this, right? And then Git comes into our life, and then there was a revolution about the GitHub part, and this is how your daily circle looks like. Some of you might work on issues, some creating PRs, some making some other requests, maybe fixing bugs, and so on. And this cycle is everyone use it. Either you are just starting as a professional or being experienced. You do this and you try to end because this is how the products nowadays need these things. Okay, and this is a small picture. As I said, that I work also a lot in the tech support area. So whenever we have issues, these are the very common labels like, oh, it first might go in a backlog. Oh, it's a bug. What is the progress going on? Maybe we need to create a PR. And then if everything went fine and if we are lucky, we close the issue. But life is not so simple as we think. Like, it really takes a lot of time, whether you are just developers, maybe some of here are system admins, or just trying to learn, okay, how these cool things work because this is starting your career. And when you have a project, you have like this big matrix of issues which can be called as subcategories, like maybe there are some, you put some labels, you assign them, you give them priority, milestone, and so on. And it takes a lot of time. And we are just talking about maybe of a single repo. But again, in reality, you probably are working in multiple repos. And this is how it looks like. So you have like three different tabs or browsers open, and you're like, oh, now let's take this one. Now I have to work this one. This is a high priority. So what are the challenges for us, for tech folks who know Git or GitHub or maybe GitLab? It's fine. So I will not say, I will just scroll through, and maybe some of you nod your head and say, yeah, this makes sense. Probably, yeah. I think the big one, time consuming, it is very time consuming because you want to be productive. You have so many tasks, you create your OKRs, or you have discussed with your team, like, I want to do this, accomplish this as soon as possible. These things take time. And a typical Monday could be something like this guy come up and you really want to punch him in the face, but you don't want to because everyone loves their job. And what you are trying to do, you are just trying to, okay, I have so much to do and I just want to do firefighting. So basically you're just trying your best, but you are not ending up, and yeah, the room is on fire or you are on fire. And the other way is to like just smash your computer, fix it, and say, That's it, I'm done. But again, this is not how we should do or reality works. What about the challenges for team leads, managers? Does they have problems like knowing, like working on so many projects and maybe using any revision control like Git or GitHub or GitLab? Well, they are. And again, I'm just scrolling through. Probably the middle one again, because your manager does not have time to check every PR, every issues, what you are doing. They want a centralized view, okay? And this is what they do. They ask you like in your report, like what you have done so far in your work. And then come this time around this season actually, so November, December, yeah, it's a performance review time. And again, if you did good, maybe you're not able to express it, then it can go a little bit south, not in your favor. So what is the solution? What needs to make this whole visible so that you can tell your managers and your manager can tell their leadership team or other leads that, yes, our department is working and my guys are working day and night and everything is going fine. So you need some monitoring, you need some visualization, and this is where Grafana comes into play. How many of you probably know a lot of Grafana? Just raise your hand if, okay. For those who are still new, so it's a visualization platform and available in many flavors. Like it's cross-platform, and yeah, you can use even Grafana Cloud for free as well. And it supports various visualization formats, and all you need is to connect to a data source. This Grafana does not work on its own. It just needs an endpoint so that it can read data and can display it. Now, this is I put on purpose because I was here yesterday also a little bit, and everyone is talking about Prometheus. Does anyone use Grafana other than Prometheus? Okay. Do you use other products of Grafana, like Loki or something, or just Grafana? Okay. Maybe someone of you can say like what other you use for Grafana, like with which component? Maybe you? Okay. Yeah, so the question is that if you are using Grafana other than Prometheus, then what is the other tool which you are using with Grafana or for Grafana? So, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a good one, yeah. Yeah, so Grafana has a very big ecosystem, and it is still a bit, sometimes very good to know that, okay, it works with Prometheus, but there are other tools available or plugins available, which we will take a look, which you can work with Grafana. And this is just like a small part of our, I'm showing is called the data source, but there is more. So I will just go a little bit quick here again. So on the top there, you have your data sources, and this is where you view mostly your dashboard and visualization. But those data sources connect to your environment and use this LGTM stack, Loki, Grafana, Tempo, Mimir, and also Pyroscope for profiling. These are Grafana products. And then there are some additional products which you can use as well for performance testing. We have K6, we have application observability like Faro for front end, Bela for eBPF, and also infrastructure observability like for Kubernetes, AWS, and so on. And IRM as well for like on-call or alerting. And now we will go a little bit deep on the Grafana plugins. So plugin is basically a way to connect and view the data. And most of these plugins are built inside the Grafana core, and it is very easy to set up and configure. And if we break down the plugin, there are 3 different types of plugin: data source, panels, and apps. Today we're gonna talk about only data source, which is the GitHub Data Source plugin. So the GitHub Data Source is available again in all Grafana version, and it supports various visualization formats, and obviously it is very easy to install and integrate, which we will again take a look. I will not go through all of this, but yes, like what we talked earlier, like to know about the PR issues, about your repo, this is what this plugin can do. And also front end a little bit as well. So to configure it, it is pretty easy and straightforward. So I will show you. So I'm here on Grafana. Let's say I'm on home. I go in administration. plugins and data, plugins, and I will just type maybe Git, and it's already showing me some hints. And this is basically, we call our plugin catalog. You can see all the plugins. We have various plugins as well, which you want to use in your use case, depends. And in this case, we are using GitHub. And we just click add a new data source. Once you've done it, you only need to define your API key or access token, in short. And you can, if you're using GitHub Enterprise, you can use that, but it works with basic GitHub as well. You don't really need to go enterprise in this case. Okay, I will delete it because I have already configured it. And for today session, this is how it's gonna look like. So you have Grafana and GitHub installed and configured, and you have this API token, and you send a post request to the GitHub server. And you say like, hey, I need maybe, for example, information about all the issues in a particular repository with the owner. And once all this is valid, then you will get also a response back, which will be in JSON format. And then this JSON information will be able to get viewed in Grafana and in a visualization. So let's create a dashboard panel. We already saw how this works, and I will try to go through with this. So this is our part one of the drill. So I have already created some dashboard to save time, but I can go through with you. So okay, just doing. So this is like you go, you create a new panel, and the first thing you will land is like you select the data source. Okay, you select the GitHub, and this is where we want we want to query issues. So we select issues, but there are many other, like you can go commits, PRs, and so on. There are a bunch of things. To keep it simple for now, issues, and the owner should be Grafana, and the repository is Grafana. And so once we hit it, we can start seeing this data. And if we want to, let's say for 24 hours, there might be a little bit less or more, depends, okay? And now we are able to view this raw information. This is good, this is a step one, but we can make it more better. So the next part which we're gonna look is transformations. So in Grafana, transformation means that you want to alter or change how the data looks like. And transformation is basically a hard change, and it happens before the visualization, like what we are viewing in the table panel. So this is all good. Let's see that what is interesting here. This number here, this number field here is very interesting because to us, we know that this is probably the GitHub ID, like we want this. So let's try to use a transformation called filter or organize. So if I can go down, it's a little bit hard in laptop. So let's add organize field by name, okay? And we can rename it. We are more interested on the one which says, oh my God, if I can go, yeah, okay. So number is, okay, number, but we want it like GitHub ID, okay? Or Git ID, okay, let's say like this. And now if we take a look, now this is changed to Git ID. What we can also do is that we can, again, move it a little bit up, okay? I'm pretty sure it's a little bit still down. Yeah, number is Git ID. So if we go back to our dashboard, now this looks on the first column looks better. And we can also hide something like, let's say we are not interested in knowing the author company. So we can hide this irrelevant data. And now we have the data which we need. We can make it more better, depends on our use case. But yeah, so this is a way to filter out the data via transformation. You can also, for example, set the limit. I have disabled it, but if I enable it, now we will have issues, only 5 issues. So you can play more, depends what you want to use, how you want to view your data. So going back here, yeah, this is what we just gone through. and transformations. Yeah, and there are many types of transformation. We use like filter one today. Okay, now we go a bit more deeper. Okay, let's talk about panel configuration. So we have done this green block of path. This is all good. Now we can still customize our data. We want to use more features like the powerful feature of Grafana in the visualization. So we use the panel config, and there we will use cell config, data links, and value mapping. Now, every of these have its own features, and it alters data in a different way. Notice one thing that, okay, we are using table panel visualization and cell config also in green, and so is this one. This is because some of these panel configuration are specific to a specific panel visualization we are using. So if in case we might be using time series, then cell config might be not there. There might be something else. So this is a dependency, depends on what you're using. So some options may not be always available. So let's take a look about the override function. So the Grafana override function allows you to customize the a particular specific field or series of your data, and you can define as multiple times as you need, like how you want to display it. And let's take a demo. So this is what we want to do. We have already said, okay, we want the issue number, GitHub issues number there, but we want to make it this colorful, like, because right now it's all gray and white. So how we can do that? Let's take a look again. No. Yeah. Let's go back. So this is a example how we are doing it. So we use the override function. How to use that? You go at the very bottom, and there is an option called override. And I will just expand it, but I will go with you. So first thing is that we need to select the field, which one we want to customize. In our case, we want to customize this close field. So we select the field with name close. Then we set the cell option and cell type. And in cell type, we want a colored background. And once we do that, it will automatically show us all of this in green. And how we can make it also red? Then the other setting which we want to use is called value mapping. So let me show if we can. Okay, I changed because it to 24 hours. It's not going. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, all good. So now we know how to change this specific cell type. Oops, my bad. Okay, I have maybe, I go one step back. We will come to the override again, value mapping again. I just want to also discuss the data link. Those GitHub ID things, right now they are unclickable. And it might be not so productive for you. Okay, you are viewing your GitHub issues or PRs, or maybe if you're using maybe AI GitHub Copilot and want to see all those data, you want it clickable for that GitHub link. Okay, how to do that? You can use something called data link so that you can link your data. And how to do that? It is pretty simple, straightforward. You go here. And let me open that dashboard for you. Yeah, this one. You can see that all these are linkable. So if I click on it, I land to that GitHub issue page automatically. And the trick is very simple. Yeah. Again, we use the power of override, and we want only this issue number again, because if we apply to this as a universal data link, then everything will be linkable. We want only the field with the issue number. So we select the new type data link in the override, and we give it a title, anything, and this is the URL. Now this part here is the magic string. So If I just remove it and press dollar, and I say that I want the issue number, then it will automatically complete it and it will get done. And that's it. Yeah. Okay. And now this is all linkable. Now for the value mapping, yeah, this is done. For the value mapping, it is something like the name says that you want to map something from a value. So we have something like this in the close true, false, true, false. True looks good, but false doesn't look very happy, very good, right? You want to maybe rename it so that your boss or your chef maybe say, ah, okay, it's in progress, it's not false. And also repo, we can maybe change the repo name as well, which we will take a look. So how to do that? Basically, let me see if there is an example. Yeah. So we define the value false as in progress and give it a color like an orange. And we want to change the value Grafana/Grafana as Grafana core. Because in our case, the repository name is Grafana, but we want to name it as something that other can also, that is a core repo of Grafana. And unfortunately, this color will not work because with a new update, maybe a bug or so, this color is not representing, only the name is changing, but still it is workable. And this is a real demo here. Let me go back. Yeah, this one. So this is how this is working. So let's take a look. Yeah, we go here in value mapping, okay? And we click on edit value mapping. And this is what we are doing here. If we want to, we can change it to color something yellow as well. And we say the Grafana should be visible as Grafana core. Unfortunately, the color is not applicable, but it's okay. And now this looks yellow. So this is, again, like crafting an art that how to get this raw data, but make it more as flexible, usable, and more user-centric, like a single pane of glass so that you can use all of this. Yeah, so that's for this part. And I think the next one is the dynamic dashboard variable. So in the world of Grafana, dynamic dashboard variable is also referred as templating, okay? And what it does is that instead of creating like 5 different dashboards that, this is for the Grafana, for Grafana Loki, and so on. You can just create one dashboard, but make these small changes as dynamic so that all is available in a single place. And there is no hard coding. You can select dynamically. And there are many dynamic dashboard variable types available. The common ones are, for example, using query or from a data source. And there are many more. The one today we're going to take a look is called custom. So let's take a look how it looks like. So I will remove this now, it's annoying. Okay, so this is again a dashboard where we want to know who are the top, as an example, who are the top contributors in Grafana, okay? Who are the top contributors in the dashboards. So right now we have this GitHub username, and we name as the username ID is Leonia or something. But imagine you have many users and you want to use this dashboard instead of creating many. So what you will do is that you click here on Edit, Settings, okay, and go in Variables, and then you define a variable name like we did, or again going one step back, that the variable type we will select is called custom. We name it as the name username. The appearance name or the label will come in the dashboard as GitHub username, okay? And then we can define the custom like with commas. So let's say we have like about 5 users here, and we take, because these are our top contributors in the dashboard community, we just paste their username here. And if we preview the values, we can view here as well. And if we go back here, now let's say that, oh, I want to select all of them, okay? So now I can view a metrics for this user, metrics for the next user, and so on. And there might be someone is doing more, someone is doing less, which is okay, but the whole idea is that now you have all this information in a single dashboard. You don't need to create multiple. And this is the power, again, of using variables in Grafana or the dashboard templating. Okay. Annotation. So this probably will be the last bit. Annotation is something like I try to explain is very basic, that you are reading a newspaper and you find, this is very interesting. Let me try to mark it down because this advertisement was important, maybe for a rent apartment or so. And you put a dot and say, I will look into it back when I'm free. So this is how annotation also work in Grafana, and you can mark the points and visualize this. So in this case, in GitHub plugin case, it works really well. So again, I will show how this annotation is used. Okay, yeah, I'm almost done. So you create a annotation here. Is this the right one? It should be. Okay, yeah. So we can annotate like, okay, this is anything in the background, but we have created these variables, which is like we want to know about external PRs. So this is, you can view like how many external PRs open with the passage of time. And if you want to say like issues labeled with bug, then this will also start appearing in red. So this is how this annotation works. And public dashboard is also a feature. Basically, you can create public dashboard. It's pretty easy. All you need to do is like select the dashboard and say, I want to share it publicly. And it will be a read-only mode. So you don't need to define the permissions as well. And the takeaways will be that now you have a centralized visibility. You can monitor all the productivity of your department, of your group, or even the whole organization. And it is very transparent, and you can collaborate with it. So it doesn't hide anything what you are doing. It showcases your work easily. Either you're working on maybe something on fun project or so. You can show it to others as well. Future improvement is that we want to add alerting and time series data. And yeah, these links are available. You can download all this slide and all the related materials using this QR code, and also can contact me. And yeah, that's all from my side.
Thank you so much. What a great talk. I think we have time for one question. So if anyone has a question, please feel free to ask it.
Hi, thanks for the talk. So all the examples were revolving around issues. Is it also possible to capture information about different parts of GitHub repositories? For example, pipeline runs or jobs or deployments?
Yes, it is possible. Like you can do that too. You can even find information like workflows, and also if you're using GitHub Actions, all related data around that is also visible. This is just for the demo because this is still like something not very known to outside world. So issues are something like everyone work, but can lead to more than that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Usman.